So, happiness from within to me means finding your happiness inside of yourself instead of relying on outside sources such as people, things, or your job or whatever it is to make you happy, right? It's not relying on anything but finding that inner peace within you. And so, once you figure out how to do that, which I feel is so important to sustain long term happiness. Everything changes, and then you're able to find pretty much joy and happiness in anything in your life, which is so beautiful.
Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to another wonderful episode of Happiness from Within. Today, I have another beautiful guest. Her name is Elizabeth. She is an intuitive mindset and manifestation coach and healer. I met her on the wonderful platform Facebook, and I actually have her here on the line. Hello, Elizabeth. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. So, I have the first fabulous question for you. What does happiness from within mean to you?
Oh, that's such a good question. So, happiness from within to me means finding your happiness inside of yourself instead of relying on outside sources such as people, things, or your job or whatever it is to make you happy, right? It's not relying on anything but finding that inner peace within you. And so, once you figure out how to do that, which I feel is so important to sustain long term happiness. Everything changes, and then you're able to find pretty much joy and happiness in anything in your life, which is so beautiful.
Wow, I love that. That's really, really beautiful. So tell us about your a little bit about yourself. How did your spiritual journey begin? Where are you from, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, sure. I grew up in the suburbs of Chicago, born and raised, and I still live here now. The Midwest is very family oriented, so everyone kind of just stays here, and it's really difficult for some of us to leave. And that's essentially why I've stayed here. You know, we have kids and then they get attached to your family. And I would love to live on the ocean. So that is definitely on my bucket list one day to have a second home on the ocean. But so my spiritual journey began, I mean, I would have to say years and years ago, where I've always kind of been interested in psychics. I've always known a psychic in my life through my mom. She's always had friends that were psychics, and I've always known that I was had this gift, like more intuitive. But I never really dove into it fully until 2020, when the world shut down and we were sitting at home bored and nothing to do. I started to read and explore, and then I started to have this feeling that I was meant to be doing something else that I was currently doing. I was actually like planned to take over my mom's company, who I had worked with for 16 years. And I just one day was like, this isn't what I want to do for the rest of my life. It wasn't my passion. It wasn't what fulfilled me and lit me up. And so I decided just to be like, okay, well, now I need to figure out what that is. Like, what is it that is my purpose? What it is my joy? So I just started to explore and be open to opportunities and follow the breadcrumbs. One Facebook led to another, and I met my first mentor who helped me develop my psychic abilities. And I loved that I did that finally, because I had been trying to do it on my own for years and never really could get to it or, actually follow through on it, reading books and stuff like that, playing with tarot. And as I was getting into it and finishing my program, I studied with her for like 9 months. I kind of felt like something was missing, like there was a piece of it missing. So I, in meditation, kind of was like, what am I supposed to do? Meditation is for receiving guidance and getting answers. And finally, one day I heard teacher leader. And I was like, okay, cool. But about what? Because like I didn't feel like teaching other people to develop their psychic abilities was the thing, right? Because I'm like, that's what I'm doing now. And then I met my next mentor. She came into my TikTok, like, I saw one of her TikToks. She was offering a free masterclass, and she was a manifestation and mindset coach. And I signed up for that, fell in love with her, signed up for her program, was going through the material, and it honestly changed my life. Like, it just changed my mindset, my perspective, taught me so many things. I discovered how to manifest with purpose, as I like to say a lot, where we can actually create our own experiences. And I remember thinking one day, like, man, I wish everyone knew this material, this info. And then one day in the call, my mentor was like, we need more people to spread this information. We need more people to teach it. And it was like a light bulb went off. I was like, that's it. Like, that is the thing that I am supposed to be doing here. So that is kind of how I came to be this intuitive mindset manifestation coach. And I'm so blessed that I have these intuitive gifts to help my clients and teach them about spirituality and intuition and how to tap in, and then also help them get the guidance they need, and then teach them how to find their happiness, how to find the positivity in their life, and how to actually manifest the life that they desire rather than the things that they don't really want. So that's, long story, semi short, how I got into my spiritual quest.
No, that's amazing. I literally have goosebumps right now because I feel like there's have a little bit of in common because like I feel like during the pandemic there was a lot of us finding ourselves, you know.
For sure.
I would love to hear more about a little bit more about what you do because there's so many people out there right now that are trying to find their purpose, right? And we
Mm.
think it has to be like this one thing, like, oh, it's my career. And I really love what you said, manifesting with purpose. I've never actually heard anyone say that, but if you can elaborate on that, just whatever comes from your heart and just kind of mix in, what specifically you do. And yeah, I would love to hear. It's really fascinating.
It's funny because I co-wrote a book with three other coaches, and we titled our book Manifesting with Purpose. So, because
Oh,
the thing is, what most people don't realize that are new to manifestation or don't really study it, that we are always manifesting, which basically means bringing ideas from our mind into the physical reality that we're experiencing. So, the experiences that you have actually are coming from previous thoughts and previous emotions and previous actions. So when you learn how to actually manifest with purpose, like intentionally manifesting, because you are now paying attention to your thoughts, you are paying attention to your emotions, and you are paying attention to your actions, trying to work towards a goal. And so, what I do with my clients is first and foremost, we create that awareness. We create the awareness around what your current thoughts are or your past thoughts have been, your current emotions, your limiting beliefs, things that are holding you back from experiencing this life that you actually really desire, but you just have no idea why you can't get to it because you're paying attention to your current reality and your current circumstances so much, you're actually recreating that over and over again. So I help my clients get out of that cycle, right? Break free of the cycle and create a new pattern, new beliefs that are going to help empower you and help you bring the things that you actually want into your reality. And I also help my clients, I teach them about, like I said, their intuition, spirituality, and connecting within. And we set goals, like really good goals. And for those that are not familiar with Bob Proctor, he was one of the leading personal development gurus who passed away last year. But he was one of my mentors. Like I followed him as well.
wow.
And he always said, if your goal doesn't scare you a little bit, it's the wrong goal or it's not a good goal. Because so much of us, we set goals that we know how to do, or it's the next logical step, right? But we're not going outside of our comfort zone, and there's no growth in that. And so we are here in this lifetime to grow, to expand, and to learn. And if you don't have a goal that is really, that lights you up and really excites you, then you're really just going to stay in the same place you've always been. So that's what we kind of work on, is setting goals that really excite you, that you get emotionally involved in, and that you work towards every day. So does that answer your question as far as like, how I help my clients and what I do with them?
Oh no, I'm literally getting goosebumps again. This is just incredible. This is really great. I can't tell you how many people I've talked to, and I'm sure you can relate to this, that are trying to find their purpose, right? I feel that when the Twin Towers fell down, I kind of feel like that's when maybe a lot of spirituality started kind of blossoming online, right? And then the pandemic, right? Another really huge catastrophic event that happened around the world. right? At least a lot of people I've talked to, I mean, can you relate? Like, it's like, oh, what's my purpose? It's like maybe there is another option, not working the 9 to 5, right? Uh,
Yeah, and I think that's just something that's been ingrained in us for so many years. Like you have to work hard, you have to work this 9 to 5, and you go to high school, you go to college, you get the family, you do all the things, right? And then you work in that job until you retire. But, a lot of us are waking up and realizing that doesn't have to be. Like life is too short to not have fun and enjoy what you're doing. So when you start opening yourself up to opportunities and to receive opportunities that are going to help you find your purpose, find the thing that brings you joy, find the thing that lights you up, then everything can change. And if you like are happy in your job, that's beautiful, but maybe you have another purpose that you're here to do in your free time, right? And to help people in a different way that you feel just a little unfulfilled. So it doesn't always mean that you have to change your career, but maybe there's something else that you should be doing or could be doing that could be fulfilling you a little bit more in your life, where you feel like you're coming from a place from service, you're helping others, or you're just no longer focusing on the negative, right? That's a big part where I help people as well, is learning how to focus on the positive things in your life rather than the negative. And then it changes your vibration and you're bringing more things to be joyful about into your life by doing that as well.
yeah, absolutely. That's beautifully. I love how you said that. That's your book right there. Can you grab that?
Yeah, yeah. This is my book, Manifesting with Purpose, and like I said, I wrote it with three other beautiful women. It's an international best-selling book. We are so proud of it, and what we really love about this book is that it isn't just a book you read and you just read it and put it down. It At the end of each chapter, there is a chapter in practice. So there's questions or journaling prompts to really help you embody the material and the information that we are talking about in the chapters, and to help you grow and expand, to get you started on your manifesting purpose. So this is available on Amazon. But yeah, so we got together and we're like, let's write a book. And we each wrote 2 chapters, and we're so proud of this. But yeah, so I love this book.
No, that's wonderful. I'll definitely make sure to put a link down for that. I actually want to get a copy of that.
Yeah, thank you so much. And like I said, it's I think our favorite part is the chapter in practice, because we really believe in doing the inner work, because without actually embodying what I'm teaching or what we're teaching, and what you're reading about, it really doesn't change anything, right? It's the embodiment of what you learn and discover that helps shift your energy and shift things in your life.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm sure there's like a lot of different things in the book, but would you mind sharing just any gem from your book of maybe somebody's listening right now, like, I don't have her book, but can you share like a gem of maybe one little tiny step I can take today to start manifesting my purpose?
Sure. So let me look here what I want to read for you.
Yeah, go for it.
Um, okay. So I wrote a book on positive thinking, because a book, a chapter on positive thinking, because that is, like I said, one of the things that changed my life so much, because I used to be a doom and gloomer and focus on the negative things in my life. And when I started focusing on the positive, everything changed for me. The level of happiness and joy in my life I experience every day is so profound. So it starts off in the chapter with change the way you look at things, and the things you look at will change. So when you change the way you look at things, you change your perspective on a circumstance or a situation. The experience you have actually starts to change, and you're no longer experiencing this negative thing. So I'll read to you some different things that can help you with being in a positive mindset, and so maybe that will be helpful to help you start manifesting, more positive things, because this is going to help raise your vibration, which is the way we start changing what we bring into our lives. So the first thing I always tell, people that are stuck in a negative mindset is practice gratitude. So practicing gratitude will help you realize how abundant your life already really is. So every morning tell my clients to, either write down, journal, or say, or in your mind, at least 5 things that you are grateful for your life right now. And this could be as simple as a cup of coffee, or, your health, or your home, or the loved ones. It could be anything, being able to pay your bills, even if it's the minimum payment, right? Like that's still something to be grateful for.
Yeah.
Always find the silver lining. So if there's something in your life that doesn't feel good, that we call it contrast in the mindset world, where it's making you feel lower or some sort of negative emotion, try to find the silver lining. Well, at least it wasn't this, right? Or it could have been worse, or it could have been this, and at least I have this now, or I've learned this. That's another thing, is always finding the lesson in anything maybe negative in nature in your life. There's always a reason for everything that happens in our lives, whether we manifested it, or not. It's always for a reason, because if it's not something that feels good, most likely there's a lesson there for you to learn. And the universe will keep bringing you the same lesson over and over again until you learn it. So some of us have life lessons that we decided we wanted to learn, and we just don't even know them yet. So it's really important to keep that positive mindset and, staying in this neutral place of, okay, what is this trying to teach me here? Rather than believing, why is this happening to me? Right? We change the mindset set to, why is this happening for me? Rather than, why is this happening to me? And then practicing daily affirmations. I know a lot of people know about this. My thing with affirmations, which I do tell my clients to use, but the important part about affirmations is connecting with the feeling of that affirmation. Like when you say, I am confident. Okay, well, what does it feel like to you to actually feel confident? You
Mm.
need to connect with that feeling, because if you don't, you're wasting your time. Like if you're just reciting over and over again, I'm confident, I'm confident, I'm confident, it doesn't do anything, right? Like, do you really believe it when you're just saying it over and over again, right?
Yeah.
So really connect to the feeling of those affirmations. I am abundant. Okay, well, why are you abundant? How are you abundant in your life? And again, abundance isn't always meaning money. Abundance is, you have more than enough food, you have more than enough water, you have shelter, you have love. And then surround yourself with people that bring you up, that lift you up, that help you stay positive in nature. Who you surround yourself is so important. So if you are constantly surrounded with people who gossip, people that always look at the negatives in life, people that complain all the time, try to limit your interactions with those people, or try to change the subject for them, right? Try to lift them up too, to help everyone lift their vibration. So I hope that's, helpful for you to take away for today, to start being able to start manifesting.
Woo! That was great. Wow.
Good.
Wow, that was really amazing. Really, really amazing. That was great. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So through your spiritual journey, like can you share just anything that comes to mind of like I don't know, a spiritual breakthrough, or just like I know you shared earlier a really good one, but yeah, I just feel like that question came up. Yeah, just anything you'd like to share.
Sure. Yeah. So a lot of people, when I feel like when they think about spirituality, they think it's all woo woo and just like way out there. But there's so much beauty of finding spirituality, and it is different for everybody, right? There's no right, wrong, or like one size fits all in spirituality. There's not one way to do things. And the same thing with manifesting. Like I teach you what works for me and what I know, but I teach you different methods too. But just because what I'm teaching is, if it doesn't resonate with you, it doesn't mean that like I'm right or you're wrong. There is no right or wrong, right? It's what feels good to you. And so I think for me, I always was like a person that thought, well, I can't meditate. I'm my mind is too create like too much chatter. I can't do it. But meditation is a practice. Like, so I think people like give up right away when they try to sit and meditate and they're like, nope, can't do it. Like my mind won't shut up. Right. If you if you learn different grounding practices and just keep at it and keep practicing, it will get better, but it does take practice. That's just the thing, especially if you are not one to do it or you have a very overactive mind, right? We call it monkey mind. So there's different techniques that you can do to quiet that mind. And grounding, you can look up grounding practices. There's so many of them, is very helpful because usually if your mind is not quiet, it is because you're not grounded. If your
Mhm.
mind is just so much chatter and going off the rails, it is because you're not grounded. So I definitely, for me, learning this and discovering this and giving myself grace in this practice, was so helpful in my spiritual growth and journey, and just keep at it, right? That's my biggest recommendation as far as, learning how to meditate. And even 5 minutes a day can help change your vibration, can help set yourself up for a really good day. Guided meditations, there's so many on YouTube, like are so helpful. Just sit for 5 minutes, with a 5 minute short meditation just to start off your day. And I promise you, you will start noticing the difference in your energy, in your mood, and what you're actually bringing into your life.
Wow. That's really great advice. That was really, really great. So my last question for you is so right now, like as you continue, manifesting your purpose, do you feel like you're still manifesting and you always setting like new goals for yourself as far as like manifesting with purpose? Can you give another example of that?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Because, like I said before, like we're always growing.
Yeah.
So I'm always expanding. So as I reach one goal or I get close to that goal, then I know it's time to change it or increase it. And if it's a monetary goal, right, then I increase it if I get close to it. If like this office that I'm in is inside of our dream home that we moved in December to, that was like one of my big manifestations that I was working on for probably a year and a half. Now that I manifested this, I've changed my goal. Like, right? Like, I have new goals as far as growing my business, and that's my focus. And helping more people in a beautiful way. And so, with that, I want to say, like, if you set a goal and it isn't showing up right away, like don't give up on it. It doesn't mean it's not coming, because things can come through on the 11th hour. Like, for example, this home, I set the goal to move into this home by December 15th, 2022. And like I said, I set that in 2021, right? So I'd been
Wow.
working on it for a while. We closed on this house on December 12th of 2022. So, like what I'm saying, like do not give up on your manifestations. Like if they're not coming through, it's the persistence in the goal or your dream is what causes it to actually manifest into your reality. And if you persist in that goal and hold it on the screen of your mind, it has no choice but to show up into your life. It will manifest.
Wow. Woo! That was great. That was really great. So
Yeah.
today you guys were doing just kind of a short interview, but I would love for I know some of you guys are here watching on YouTube, but for those of you listening on another platform, Elizabeth, can you share your where people can find you?
Yeah, I am on Facebook and Instagram, and it's just my name, Elizabeth Planson. You can just, search that on the tab. And my website is elizabethplanson.com. I'm sure you'll put the links there because no one can pronounce my name correctly from the spelling. And so, yeah, that's where the best way to find me is those three platforms.
Okay, wonderful. Well, I really want to thank you from my heart to yours. Thank you so much for being a guest here on Happiness from Within. And
Thank you so much.
I truly wish you a beautiful day. I think you're headed to a birthday party, right?
Two birthday parties today with the
Yeah.
kids, so busy, busy day.
That's wonderful. Well, I wish you a beautiful day and I'll definitely talk to you soon. Okay. Thank you so much. Bye for
Thank
now.
you so much for having me. Bye.
Bye.